Arde.
Yay, dolce vita.
They are crazy.
Hello everyone, let me show you my ride with Marco all the way from Nepi to Tarquinia on dirt roads. Let's see. After a short warm-up ride, Marco explained to me that we should ride pretty slow in the next section because of possible trekking and mountain bike rides. But hey, I don't think that was the first issue because yeah, the track was narrow and the bushes were pretty dense. First, I wasn't sure, but then soon realized this is an abandoned railway track. Yeah, with all the goodies left behind and only took away the rails and the unnecessary stones. And so I had an awesome dirt road tunnel ride, first time in my life. Yeah, and I enjoyed it pretty much. The ride was smooth and dusty until a fallen tree blocked our way.
Ah, finito.
After my optimistic summarize of our situations, I went into the nearby bushes to check maybe we can make a detour around the fallen tree. But yeah, it was pretty much grassy and there was also a deep hole next to the track, so Marco decided just to rip off the whole tree with his bare hand. And yes, he did it in certain pace. But I helped, and this way, yeah, still nothing happened. So Marco just gave up and suggested me we should take a U-turn and continue the journey in, yeah, a bigger detour. But then I was walking from the opposite direction in the off-track and I declared this is doable.
Forse.
Just to be sure for the success of this wonderful idea, I just rip off very important branches next to the track and I was sure this one is safe to ride.
Yep. Marco, guarda qui.
And since this was my idea, Marco just gave me the opportunity to show him how to push a 200-kilogram motorbike just on the edge of a deep ditch between bushes and trees. While the first survived, it was time to go back for the rally raid, the bigger T7. After we saved the day, I just explained Marco, this is the way I usually ride solo at home. And yes, he was totally satisfied with the level of my responsibility and safety standards.
Come questo.
They are crazy.
Ok.
It was time to make an unscheduled stop again. But this time not because of fallen tree, but because of fallen Marco. Yes, he slided too much to the left in the dusty sand, and bushes just dragged him into the ditch next to the road. Yeah, fortunately nothing happened.
Too deep track.
The track was too deep, just simple to ride out of it, so I suggested Marco in my perfect Italian that over there is a possibility to ride out.
C'è 10
And since
metri
he
avanti
understood me
è
perfectly,
possibile.
or not, but anyway, he walked there and watched it for himself, and yeah, this was the solution anyway. Yep, it was time to get back on the track. Unfortunately, we had to stop again, and this time because two huge boulders blocked the way. I told Marco I think we can squeeze the bikes between them, but he learned from my previous bravery at the fallen trees, so he didn't give me a chance this time, just turned his bike around and thought we must find a detour. Marco stopped to ask the local farmers if they know a detour around here, and they just kindly offered we can use their land anywhere we prefer just to get back to the railway track. And so we did it. We arrived to a gate, and since we had the permission, Marco just opened it and we entered into an awesome sauce off-road place.
Si può entrare. It's possible entry.
Ah,
Ma non conosco la strada.
che è difficile.
Maybe. Please run here.
Ah.
After the exciting short track, we got back to the train track and met the first inhabitant of the place.
This is an abandoned railway station. Oh my god. Yes, Marco. This is awesome sauce. Oh. Mamma mia.
Unfortunately, it was late in the afternoon. I had no time to shoot close-ups or drone footages. We had to hurry because we weren't even at the half of the track. While I was sad about the missed opportunity of the cool records, the track next up ahead made me forget it pretty quickly. because it was super badass awesomeness.
Apro il cancello.
Ok. Ciao.
And then we arrived to the place where the track simple ended. It was a huge open place with full of inhabitants, horses, cows and bulls. And yeah, they just looked very dangerous with the big horns and the gazing sides. So I was not sure we can get out of here alive. And yeah, just keep attention how peacefully they just lay there and watching us stupid motorbike riders just lurking around and riding up and down. Well, we definitely lost the way.
Non vedo la strada.
Well, getting lost is not that bad, especially on this track. Even if the locals watching you strange.
Sorry guys.
This was the point where I completely lost Marco. I didn't see any track of his bike, and when I stopped my motorbike, I didn't even hear his bike. So there was nothing else left, just wait for him to return and pick me up. Because, yeah, without him, it should have been much more difficult to find the right path. Finally, he came back, and yeah, I told him in my perfect Italian how much I like this track.
5 minutes dopo c'è a panoramic route.
Ah. Questo è stato panoramic route.
Questo with mud is impossible.
Sì, sì, sì. Difficile, ma divertita.
And finally, after several steep rocky climbs, we arrived to the scenic road. yeah, the scenic route was scenic, but in riding difficulty, nothing near to the previous section of the track. Finally, we arrived back to the civilization, into the awesome city of Monte Romano. Monte Romano is really close to our final destination, Tarquinia, but first we made a little detour because I wanted to ride next to an ancient aqueduct. And yeah, so I did. After leaving my childhood dreams, we just continue the track on the scenic route. What a wonderful and peaceful ending of our ride for today. We arrived to Tarquinia. We made a little detour, but we arrived safe and sound after a wonderful journey into the city. We were riding next to the city walls and yeah, we just closed the ride like this. Thank you so much to watch my awesome ride from Nepi to Tarquinia in Lazio, Italy, and eternal gratitude to Marco to show me this track. I hope you liked this video. And if you did, hopefully see you next time. Ciao!
Yay, dolce vita!